You might recall my previous explorations into Kim Kaphwan's story, delving deep into his connections with the Fatal Fury and King of Fighters timeline. Today we're doing something different though. We're embarking on a unique journey, a what-if scenario. Imagine a different Kim, a departure from his staunch, justice-driven persona. Kim's steadfast commitment to justice often defines him, but what if circumstances pushed him to the brink of change? In other medias, characters like him are usually depicted as the ones that snap the hardest and make a 180 shift when things go south. In this video, we'll dare to imagine an extreme character development for Kim. Join me as we unravel the possible catalysts for this personality shift, exploring its potential impacts on his story, relationships with other characters, and the conceivable alterations to his character design and fighting style that might arise from such a transformative change. But before that, as always, if you like this content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you can be notified with every new video posted. Within the Fatal Fury and King of Fighters universes, Kim Kaphwan stands as a paragon of virtue, embodying principles of justice, discipline, and unwavering morality. Hailing from South Korea, Kim is not merely a martial artist, he is a symbol of righteousness, driven by a strong sense of duty to uphold justice. His unwavering dedication to his family and the pursuit of justice has earned him respect not just among his peers but also from fans worldwide. Kim's character is defined by an unyielding code of ethics. He is portrayed as an exemplar of discipline and honor, both inside and outside the ring. His fighting style, rooted in the art of Taekwondo, mirrors his values, showcasing elegance, precision, and an adherence to fair play. A key aspect of Kim's character is his deep commitment to his family, especially to his sons Jae-hoon and Dong-won. His familial bond serves as a driving force behind his actions, often shaping his decisions and motivations. Not only is Kim an exceptional fighter, but he also assumes the role of a mentor and leader, guiding younger fighters and instilling in them the same values he upholds. His leadership qualities extend beyond the fighting arena, earning him admiration and respect from both allies and rivals. Kim Kaphwan's character is not just a fighter, he embodies a set of values that resonates deeply with fans, making him an integral and beloved part of the King of Fighters series. So let's ruin that. It's time for our what-if scenario. Kim felt frustrated. Even though he was a Taekwondo champ and the hero to his nation, he couldn't shake off the feeling of failing. He's been trying hard for years to help Chang and Choi in the KOF tournaments, hoping to turn them away from their criminal ways, but whenever he looked away, they went right back to their old habits. To make things worse, he found out that Raiden and Wajai, whom he thought he'd helped in KOF 13, were not reformed whatsoever. They'd actually left their criminal lives way before Kim tried to help them. They were just using Kim's fame in KOF to get famous themselves. A big failure and a monumental waste of time. Kim felt like he couldn't judge people right, but despite all this, he refused to lose hope. Determined to make a change, set his sights on an old adversary, Freeman. Freeman was no ordinary criminal. He was a fearsome serial killer who'd clashed with Kim in the past, even causing serious injury. Kim's sons sought retribution, making it their mission during the Maximum Mayhem edition of KOF, an event detailed in Garou Mark of the Wolves. In the aftermath, Freeman was apprehended and incarcerated in a high-security prison, condemned for his heinous deeds. However, Kim, fueled by an unshakable belief in redemption, approached the correctional facility authorities. He earnestly pleaded for the chance to include Freeman in his rehabilitation program. He firmly believed that with the right guidance, training, and discipline, even someone like Freeman could turn over a new leaf. Given Kim's status as a renowned champion, the correctional facility authorities agreed to Kim's proposal. Freeman was placed under Kim's care, an opportunity Kim saw as a chance to rewrite Freeman's story. With this responsibility, Kim harbored hope that his efforts could transform the life of this convicted criminal for the better, and prove to himself that he could win where he had lost previously. However, things didn't go as he planned. In fact, they spiraled into a chaos far beyond Kim's expectations. Freeman proved to be more vicious and unpredictable than any criminal Kim had dealt with in the past. Despite Kim's unwavering dedication to reforming him, Freeman saw an opportunity to betray him, seizing the moment to free himself from Kim's attempts at rehabilitation. In a sudden, treacherous move, Freeman launched a deadly attack aimed at Kim, who was unsuspecting. Jae-hoon happened to be present at that fateful moment. Reacting swiftly to protect his father, Jae-hoon intervened just in time to shield Kim from Freeman's assault. Tragically, the strike meant for Kim found its mark on Jae-hoon, mortally wounding him. The scene unfolded in a horrifying blur, and despite Kim's desperate attempts to save his son, it was futile. Freeman capitalized on the ensuing chaos to escape, leaving behind a shattered Kim and the lifeless body of his beloved son. This devastating loss shattered something fundamental within Kim, a crushing realization that his staunch principles and unwavering sense of justice had not only failed to reform a criminal for the third time, but had led to the irrevocable demise of his own flesh and blood. This cataclysmic event irreversibly fractured Kim's spirit and perception of the world, setting the stage for a profound transformation within him. As the days passed after Jae-hoon's tragic demise, a profound metamorphosis consumed Kim Kaphwan. The once stalwart champion of righteousness found himself adrift in a turbulent sea of grief, anger, and an unquenchable thirst for retribution. Kim's demeanor shifted drastically. The vibrant light that once emanated from him dimmed into a shadow cast by unrelenting darkness. His convictions, once rooted deeply in the belief of redemption and the power of discipline, twisted into a festering resentment against a world that had robbed him of his son. Gone were the teachings of mercy and rehabilitation. In their place festered a seething desire for vengeance, a flame burning fiercely within him, consuming the remnants of his former self. Kim, now consumed by a haunting fervor, vowed to rewrite the rules of justice, forsaking the principles that had guided his moral compass for so long. This personal transformation marked a tragic departure from the Kim Kaphwan the world had known, a descent into the abyss of his own shattered spirit, veiled behind the facade of unyielding determination and a newfound darkness. No longer driven by the noble pursuit of redemption and the belief in the transformative power of discipline, Kim's motivations underwent a jarring metamorphosis. His singular focus shifted from seeking the light within darkness to plunging headlong into the abyss, driven by an unrelenting desire for retribution against the man responsible for Jae-hoon's demise and anyone else who dare standing in his way. As Kim delved deeper into the labyrinthine hunt for Freeman, the elusive target seemed to slip through his fingers like grains of sand, evading capture at every turn. Days stretched into torturous cycles of futile pursuit, and with each passing hour, the haunting specter of Jae-hoon's absence gnawed away at Kim's sanity, leaving his psyche fractured and teetering on the brink of despair. In his relentless quest, Kim crossed paths with familiar figures, their shadows cast by deeds that echoed Freeman's malevolence. Where the Kim of old would have sought resolution through honorable combat, this new incarnation was consumed by a visceral need for swift and permanent eradication of perceived malevolence. The ill-fated encounter with his former teammates, Chang and Choi, bore testament of this harrowing transformation. In a catastrophic clash, Kim unleashed a ferocity that left his comrades gravely wounded. Chang and Choi teetered on the precipice of death, their lives hanging by a thread, saved only by the intervention by Kim's revered master, Gang-il, whose timely intervention halted Kim's descent into irreversible darkness just before the point of no return. The fabric of Kim Kaphwan's relationships with those around him began to fray. Once regarded as a beacon of inspiration and unwavering principles, Kim's descent into a darker realm of anguish and vengeance casts a chilling shadow over his connections with his former allies, friends, and adversaries alike. Some, recognizing the depth of his grief and the consuming rage within, extended empathy and a sense of solidarity, attempting to bridge the chasm that had emerged between them. Such was the case of his master Gang-il and his former pupil Mei-Li, who refused to lose faith in him, believing that the good, benevolent Kim still resided somewhere deep inside this new dark and vindictive version of himself. Yet others, unable to reconcile the new vengeful aura that enveloped Kim, began to distance themselves, wary of the unpredictable storm brewing within him. Former teammates and comrades, once united by shared goals and camaraderie, now stood at a precarious distance, uncertain of their place in the life of this transformed figure. The aura of respect and admiration Kim had once commanded was replaced by an unsettling tension, an air heavy with the unspoken weight of this altered disposition. His interactions were marked by an unyielding intensity, each exchange laden with an undercurrent of the turmoil festering within him. And then there was Kim's other son, Dongwan, standing in a mix of fury and worry, etched on his face. His heart surged with anger, witnessing his revered role model, the man he'd always looked up to, plummet from grace in such a profound manner. This new version of Kim was a failure in Dongwan's eyes, a disheartening disappointment, unworthy of the respect he once held for his father. Since Jae-hoon's tragic passing, Kim had left home in a relentless pursuit of free men, leaving behind a worried wife and distraught son, fearing to lose his father just as he had lost his brother. Despite Dongwan's own heavy heart from the loss of his sibling, he remained resolute, determined to halt his father's descent into darkness and guide him back onto the righteous path, even if it meant forcibly kicking some sense into him. What they all failed to comprehend was that Kim's motives were not solely fueled by a thirst for vengeance. Kim was a broken man, his very purpose in life shattered into irreparable pieces, lost amidst the fragments of his shattered beliefs. His pursuit of vengeance became the sole focus, a desperate attempt to cling to the remnants of sanity amidst the chaos of his fractured existence. Struggling to track down free men using the usual methods, Kim shifted his focus to the KOF tournaments. If there was any chance of finding his target, KOF seemed the most probable arena. Yet Freeman wasn't the sole malefactor linked to these tournaments. Numerous other villains gravitated toward KOF for their own agendas. Whenever one of these figures emerged, Kim found himself unable to resist intervening, imposing his cold, unforgiving justice upon them. All the while, he bided his time, waiting for his ultimate target to surface. Kim's presence became an ominous specter at the KOF tournaments, earning him the nickname of the Ghost of KOF. He haunted these events relentlessly, driven by his singular purpose, while the shadow Freeman mocked him like a mirage. After having detailed Kim's transition into an anti-hero figure and explored its impacts on the narrative and his relationships, it's evident that these shifts would extend to his appearance and combat style. Kim's attire becomes a canvas reflecting his turbulent inner world. His once immaculate taekwondo gi now bears the marks of relentless pursuit, tattered, marked with tears and dirt, a testament to his unwavering focus on tracking down free men, his neglect for personal upkeep evident. Furthermore, a secondary outfit could be considered too, showing his departure from the traditional pristine white gi. Instead, Kim could go for a more casual clothing, but with darker and subdued colors, grays or blacks dominate, signaling the evolution from a disciplined pure self to a darker, more intense persona. Emphasizing this transformation, Kim adopts a scruffier appearance, cultivating a beard that mirrors his inner chaos and disregard for grooming. His previously well-kept hair now grows longer and messier, reflecting the disarray of his mind as he embarks on his chaotic quest for vengeance. Basically, Kim could start looking like Ken in Street Fighter 6. In light of his revamped design, Kim is poised to step into the role of the new optional mid-boss within the KOF realm. The concept is quite simple. Whenever the player selects a villainous character for their team, Kim is primed to make his appearance, ready to challenge them head-on. But here's where it gets wild. The more villains that find their way into the player's team lineup, the tougher Kim could become as an opponent. Which brings us to talk about Kim's new moves and fighting style. Kim's fighting style undergoes a dramatic shift, embracing a more aggressive and unyielding approach. Renowned for his disciplined and defensive taekwondo finesse, he now channels a relentless offensive onslaught, showcasing a raw and merciless combat technique, reminiscent of Juri from Street Fighter. However, unlike Juri's playful demeanor, Kim exudes a grave and serious aura. His iconic moves retain their essence, but surge with amplified power and intensity, exemplifying the inner turmoil fueling his strikes. Techniques such as Hienzan and Hienshi Pukyaku take on a ferocity that delivers devastating, bone-crushing blows. Departing from his conventional fair play, Kim now doesn't shy from incorporating unorthodox tactics and unsavory methods, catching opponents off guard. For this new incarnation of Kim, justice knows no bounds, and anything is fair game when serving retribution upon his foes. Adding a new tool to his arsenal, Kim unveils a new desperation move, akin to a rage mechanic or an installed super. Much like Juri's Feng Shui engine, this supercharge boosts the damage and speed of his attacks, giving him access to new lengthy and devastating combos, a manifestation of his unchained rage. To accentuate his evolved persona, his strikes adopt a darker aura or effects, mirroring the tumultuous transformation within. Shadowy wisps swirl around his blows, and his special moves don a somber, darker hue. As a final symbolic alteration, the once fiery phoenix that marked his climax super is now replaced by a foreboding, ominous raven, signifying the depth of his descent into darkness and vengeance. His visual transformation mirrors the profound change in Kim's demeanor and fighting spirit, underscoring the gravity of his altered state. In delving deep into this hypothetical what-if scenario of Kim Kaphwan's descent into darkness, we've unraveled a narrative that reshapes a beloved character's journey. We imagined his transformation into an anti-hero figure, the impact on his relationship with other characters, the reflection in his altered design and intensified fighting style. The evolution of Kim has been a compelling exploration. As for why I chose Jae-hoon as a necessary sacrifice for Kim's transformation, it's simply because he's superfluous from a gameplay perspective. He was designed to replace Kim in Garou Mark of the Wolves, and that's why he was given all of Kim's moveset with minimal changes. Unlike Don Juan, who's pretty unique in every way, I feel we can gain a lot of character developments and lose nothing gameplay-wise by giving him the axe. Sorry Jae-hoon fans. Now I want to know what are your thoughts on this imagined transformation of Kim. Are you intrigued by the idea of witnessing this alternative version of such a beloved character come to life? Or do you prefer to remain in the realm of familiarity, reluctant to tamper with the legacy of established characters? Your opinions matter, and I'm eager to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share your views and join the conversation by dropping your comments below. Special thanks to my patrons for their support. I hope you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up if you did, and why not consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching.